My lie sent my uncle to prison, and I deserve every piece of misery I got. I used to think the world revolved around me. No, scratch that. I knew it did. I was the pretty one, the sweet one, the golden girl everyone adored without question. My father always told me I was special, that people would believe anything I said because I had one of those innocent faces. And he wasn't wrong. Teachers, relatives, friends, they all listened when I talked. They all smiled when I cried. They all rushed toward me the second I acted like something was wrong. I learned young that if I didn't like someone, all I had to do was twist my face, sniff a little, and everyone would turn on them instantly. It's embarrassing to admit now, but back then it felt like everything was under my control. Real control. But then my uncle ruined everything. He didn't hurt me. He didn't insult me. He didn't even do anything wrong. All he did was get a promotion. A small promotion. One raise at work, one innocent celebration at a dinner at my grandparents' house, and a few relatives threw together. And suddenly everyone was looking at him. Suddenly he was the star of the moment. The one everyone praised. The one everyone talked about. We're so proud of him. He deserves this. He's always helped the family. He's such a good young man. All those sweet compliments that used to be for me, that used to be mine, were suddenly being poured onto him. I sat at that table hearing everyone talk about how far he'd come, how responsible he was, how lucky his employer was to have him, and something in me snapped. Why him? Why now? Why was everyone ignoring me? I remember going home that night, sitting in my room, furious, scrolling through pictures of the celebration, reading comments from relatives hyping him up. I hated it. I hated how they talked about him like he was the Messiah who came to save everyone. I hated how he smiled like he was worthy of all this praise of himself. And I hated that no one was talking about me. So I decided to fix this issue. I went to my mother first, told her I needed to talk, and when she asked what was wrong, I let myself cry, forced at first. Then it became real because I was so angry and told her that my uncle had cornered me after the dinner. I told her he touched me in places I didn't feel comfortable repeating. I said he told me to keep quiet. I watched my mother's face drain of color. She was horrified, disgusted, terrified, and all I could think was, finally now everyone will hate him. Then my father came in and I told him too. I didn't even have to cry as hard as I thought I would need to. He believed me instantly. He always did, like everyone around me. One little crack in my voice, and he was ready to burn the world down for me. I told him that my uncle was creepy, that he always stared at me for too long, that he waited until no one was around. None of it was true, not a single word. But the way my dad's jaw clenched, the way he started shaking with rage, I felt the power of control again. And when the police were called, when the relatives began whispering, when people started messaging me that they believed me, survivors, I truly felt invincible. Then the trial started. Now here I sit, legs crossed, hands folded sweetly in my lap, face perfectly composed, the perfect victim. Everyone looks at me with pity, with admiration. She's so brave. She's so strong. What a sweet girl. Poor her, for she had to endure all this for so long. And I smile politely, soaking in every bit of attention I lost months ago. My uncle sits at the defense table looking tired and angry. His jaw locked so tight I can see the muscle twitching. His eyes never meet mine. They're gazed down, looking defeated and tired. And why shouldn't he be? He knows no one will believe him over me, the perfect sweet girl of the family. He knows that the family is wrapped around my fingers. He knows my parents treat my word like the final judgment. He knows that everyone in this courtroom already made up their mind before the first witness stepped forward. It annoys me that a few people, his friends, sit in the back glaring at me, whispering among themselves, pushing back harder than anyone expected. But it's not enough. They're nothing compared to the choir of relatives speaking on my behalf. No matter what they say, the jury only sees me. A trembling teenager in nice clothes with a traumatic story and big watery eyes. A survivor, a role model, a hero, someone worth protecting. Everyone thinks I'm brave. Everyone thinks I'm strong. Everyone thinks I'm fighting for justice. They have no idea I'm fighting for attention that was taken away from me. And soon my uncle will learn his place. Everyone will, because when I want something, I get it. And this destruction of his image, taking back the spotlight that is mine. This is what I wanted. Update 1. It's been a couple of months since I supposedly survived the incident, what my uncle supposedly did to me. And honestly, life has never been better. My whole family is still wrapped around my finger. My aunt, his sister, his parents, my own parents, all of them. They were furious for me, crying and apologizing like I was the wounded little princess they needed to protect. Gullible idiots. Every single one of them. They didn't even hesitate to believe me, not once. They didn't ask questions, didn't check anything, didn't use a shred of common sense. They just hugged me, told me I was brave, and said they were ashamed of what he did. My uncle got 10 years in prison for something that never happened. And honestly, that's exactly what he gets for stealing the attention that was supposed to be mine. Maybe now he'll finally learn where he stands. And the best part, my social media absolutely exploded. Every TikTok dance I post hits millions of views within 6 hours. People comment things like, "Stay strong, queen. You're so brave." And "We love you." My cheer. Leading videos get reposted everywhere, too. All because I'm inspiring. It's hilarious how easy people are to fool. Teachers give me extra credit without question. Coaches go easy on me. Sometimes I fake panic attacks just to get more sympathy, and it always works. A few of my friends might know the truth, but they won't dare say a word. They know better. They know what happens when someone crosses me. Then came the highlight of my month. My parents paid for me to travel to another city for a huge event. Big names were there, real celebrities, influencers, people that everyone obsesses over, but they didn't obsess over me like they should. Andrew, the founder of Raven Tech, someone who works with Kasha and Blair, someone who's actually famous, didn't even give me a proper look. He didn't care that I was a survivor of a traumatic incident. He didn't even smile. So, I got irritated. I made a vague comment to him about my uncle being dangerous, fully expecting him to react or feel bad for me like he should. Instead, I got the sharp, cold stare that felt like I was being seen for who I am. And for the first time, I felt like someone saw something they weren't supposed to see. And Blair, she looked at me like I was some disgusting creature. I left the meet and greet early, furious that no one important understood who I was. I'm famous, too, or I should be. People online adore me. The world supports me. These celebrities should have cared for me too. They should have paid attention to me. At least the boy I've been hinting at has been noticing me more. And why wouldn't he? I get what I want. I always have. Update 2. I swear I am done with people. I hate all of them. My friends, that stupid boy I liked. Literally, everyone thinks they can talk to me however they want now, and it pisses me off. So yeah, I finally made a move on the boy I've been hinting at for months. I told him to meet me under the bleachers, thinking he'd get the message. He didn't. He actually took a step back like I was radioactive and straight up told me he didn't like me like that. I felt my whole face get hot from embarrassment. How dare he reject me after everything I've been through? So I snapped. I told him, if you don't do what I want, I can put you in jail like I did to my uncle. He froze, obviously. For a second, I thought he'd fold like everyone else does. But no. He just stared at me like I was something he stepped on in the hallway and said, "Go ahead." I swear I almost slapped him right then and there. I walked off because I knew if I stayed, I'd scream in his face. I was already planning how to deal with him later. If it worked once, it can work again. He should have been smart enough to give me what I wanted. And then the next day, everything blew up. My best friend, or whatever she thinks she is, pulled me aside between classes. She wasn't alone. All of our friends were with her. They were standing there like they were about to stage an intervention or something, and they looked angry, not scared, not confused, angry. She asked if the rumor about what I said to the boy was true. I told her he lied, obviously. Then she took out her phone and hit play. It was my voice, my threats, me telling that boy I could put him in jail. Me admitting I made up what happened with my uncle. And she was filming the whole thing. I went cold. Actually cold. My face went pale. My stomach dropped so hard I thought I was going to puke my organs out. I tried grabbing her phone, but the others stepped between us like I was some kind of a monster. They looked at me like they didn't even recognize me anymore. My best friend actually told me that she's disgusted with me. That she knows my uncle helped her dad many years ago, that she should have spoken up sooner because she always felt something was off about the whole thing. She said if I didn't tell my family the truth, she would post the video online. I asked her how she could betray me like this after everything. She said the real betrayal was what I did to my uncle. I couldn't even answer. I just left. I pretended to be sick and signed myself out of school. Now I'm sitting in my room shaking with rage. They're going to ruin everything. Everything I worked so hard for, my followers, my popularity, my life, all because they couldn't just stay in their lanes like every other idiot who believed me. I'm not letting them steal my life, especially after I fought so hard to build it. Update 3. I still can't believe how fast everything came down crashing. One minute I was running the whole school, the whole family, the whole narrative, and the next, everyone decided to turn on me like a bunch of losers who were jealous of me. I tried to keep things quiet after the video situation, hoping my former best friend would calm down, but she wouldn't even look at me. I tried talking to her for days. Nothing. My friends stopped sitting with me. Teachers started giving me weird looks. People whispered behind my back. I even offered money, actual cash. And instead of taking it like a good dog they were before all this, they gave me an ultimatum like they had the power over me. So yeah, I had no choice since they had proof with them. I had to tell my parents. And that's where everything blew up. The yelling started almost instantly. My mom kept yelling, "What do you mean you lied?" Like, I didn't literally just tell her. My dad looked like he got punched. And then his parents, my uncle's parents, started screaming too. They demanded to know why I did it. And when I told them the truth, that I hated how he took the attention away from me with his stupid promotion, and how everyone talked about him instead of me, they just stared at me like I was some alien speaking an alien language. My aunt, his sister, started crying so hard she couldn't breathe. She kept saying she called him a monster on the stand. She kept saying she helped bury him. She kept saying she ruined her brother's life. She was acting like she was the victim. Meanwhile, I'm the one who had to stand there and listen to everyone screaming at me like I committed some unforgivable sin. Then it just kept getting worse. My parents actually tried to keep things quiet, like they could just hide what I did. They sat there trying to figure out how to pay him off once he got released, like some bribe would magically erase a 10-year sentence. But his parents completely lost it and shut that idea down. They were yelling that the truth needed to come out, that they betrayed their son because they believed me, that they helped ruin his life, and they weren't going to lie anymore just because my parents wanted to protect me. It turned into a full-on screaming match. Doors slamming, people crying, people throwing blame around at each other. Absolute chaos. And then their lawyer found out. And he dropped them on the spot. He literally said he was disgusted and told them I'd face consequences. Full consequences. No way out. So my parents scrambled and hired another lawyer. And even he said the prosecutor needed to hear the truth immediately. And of course, suddenly all the other relatives started panicking too because, shocker, they admitted they made up stories too. They helped pile on. They enjoyed burying my uncle when they thought he was guilty. They all celebrated getting rid of him. And now all of them are afraid. One idiot relative even suggested throwing a welcome home party for my uncle when he gets released. Balloons, cake, fake hugs, the whole thing, like that wasn't the most pathetic garbage idea ever. Some people said it was stupid, but most of them still agreed. My parents think I need to go apologize to him in person. They think if I cry enough, he'll forgive me. My dad actually said he'd handle it if my uncle fights back. Like any of that matters. Like any of them understand what's about to hit us. Everything is spiraling and I can't stop. Because I lost the narrative. Update 4. It's been a while, and I feel like my whole life is falling apart piece by piece. I can't sleep. I can't think. And everywhere I go, people look at me like I'm something they scraped off their shoe. And now, my former best friend, who I thought would at least try to protect me, dropped the final bomb. She released the video. The video. The one where I admitted everything. She didn't warn me. She didn't message me. She didn't even glare at me first. She just hit upload and walked away from what used to be my life. And all of this happened right after the nightmare at the halfway house, the place where my uncle was supposed to stay after serving a year of a 10-year sentence that I gave him. I'm exhausted, and I can't believe how fast everything went to hell. My dad thought he was so smart. He paid off the halfway house director, literally a couple thousand just to get him to let us inside and let us set up a reunion. He kept saying everything would be fine, that I just needed to apologize, that my uncle would come around. The director barely even looked comfortable taking the money, but he still did. And everyone else in the family played along too, except that one relative who kept saying it was a stupid idea, that my uncle wouldn't want to see us, that he was angry. I should have listened. God, I should have listened because now I can't unsee what happened and I am scared. We decorated the stupid room with a banner and a cake like we were welcoming home some long-lost hero. I felt sick the entire time. And then he walked in. My uncle. He looked wrong. Not the same man I lied about. Harder, colder, angrier. He barely stepped into the room before my dad tried talking to him, smirking like he was still in control, like he wasn't the reason all of this exploded. He tried giving him the "she's just a kid" speech again. And the second those words came out of his mouth, everything shattered. My uncle snapped. He grabbed my dad and beat him so fast, so violently, I swear no one even had time to react. People screamed. My uncle didn't stop. He just kept going, punching him over and over while my dad tried to crawl away. Other relatives rushed in to stop him, but he shoved them aside like they meant nothing. His sister, my aunt, was crying and trying to pull him back, but he shoved her back. His parents were begging him to stop, but he didn't even hear them. He just kept stomping on my dad like he wanted to erase him from existence. Someone finally called the police, and when they arrived, my uncle was still glaring at all of us like we were cattle ready to be butchered. He was glaring at me, like he wanted to rip me apart with his bare hands. My dad was screaming from the stretcher that he wanted to press charges. He kept yelling it over and over, even while they loaded him into the ambulance, and my uncle just stared at all of us with this look that made every hair on my body stand up. His parents and his sister were devastated and kept blaming me and everyone else. And the worst part, they're right. My uncle got arrested on the spot. And for a moment, I actually felt relieved. But then days later, I found out the truth. He got bailed out the next day. Some friend of his paid for it, and the police didn't care what we said. No one cared. Nothing went the way my parents thought. They panicked and shipped me off to another city to stay with another uncle for my safety. And even he is treating me like I'm radioactive or something, acting cautious around me. Everyone is scared. Everyone is quiet. Everyone keeps whispering that my uncle is different now, dangerous, out for blood. And somehow all of them keep looking at me like I'm the one holding a grenade. My friends found out what happened at the halfway house and they're pissed. They won't even text me back. Then suddenly, boom, the video hits the internet and my entire world, at least what still remained, disintegrates. Every comment is calling me psychotic. Every share is mocking me. At my new school, people avoid me like I carry an airborne disease. I didn't mean for any of this to get this far. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I just wanted him out of the way, out of the spotlight. I just wanted people to look at me again. And now I'm terrified. I have nightmares about my uncle's face at the halfway house. I keep thinking he's going to show up and kill me. I keep thinking I ruined everything and there's no escaping it. I'm not just scared of the fallout anymore. I'm scared of him. Intermission. Thank you for taking the time to listen to the story. Your engagement is a tremendous part of my motivation. If you've enjoyed this story and would like to continue exploring more stories, chapters, twists, and connected arcs, please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification so you'll always be notified when a new story is posted. Update 5. I swear my life has become a living nightmare on repeat. It's been weeks since they dumped me at my uncle's place. The same relatives who didn't even want me there in the first place, but had to take me in because my parents were begging him, and everything keeps getting worse. The entire city knows what I did. That stupid video my former best friend leaked blew everything up. One minute I was the survivor everyone worshipped. The next I became the girl who lied and ruined an innocent man's life. And the worst part, people in this new city found it too. I thought I could start over quietly, but kids at my new school recognized me from some student group online. Someone posted the video of me threatening my crush and admitting I lied about my uncle. Now they shove me in the hallways, call me predator girl, the liar, jailbait justice. And they even slip notes in my locker saying things like, don't trust her. She ruins families and lives. They record me crying and laugh about it. A teacher even told me privately that they know what's going on and that they're keeping an eye on me like I'm some dangerous inmate who's on an ankle monitor. Meanwhile, my uncle's side of the family, the ones stuck with me, are being harassed too. Their house keeps getting egged, their mailbox ripped off twice, someone keyed their car, and neighbors openly talk about them like they raised a monster. They don't say it out loud, but they don't want me here. They're scared of him. And now they're scared of me. Then it got even worse. A letter from my uncle's lawyer arrived. I'm officially part of a lawsuit. Perjury, defamation, false reports, emotional and financial damages. Seeing my name on that paper made my stomach drop. They want all my messages, including the ones I deleted. And now the police want to interview me again. They called my new guardian asking for my phone, my social media accounts, everything. I heard them say over the phone that I might get trialed as an adult. I felt like I was drowning. And then my distant uncle, the one I'm staying with, finally snapped. He looked at me across the dinner table and said, "You destroyed our whole family. He could have killed your dad. That's on you entirely." His siblings won't even sit in the same room with me. They pack up their food and leave whenever I walk in. As if that wasn't enough, rumors started spreading. Adults whisper that my uncle is different now and out for blood. Someone said he's been at the gym nonstop, getting stronger, angrier. Someone else said he confronted coworkers and sent one to the hospital. Every night I lie awake convinced he'll show up here next. Social media is even worse. Thousands of hate comments, threats, edits of my uncle leaving prison with captions like, "Justice wins." Even my private accounts are flooded. And that boy I liked, the one I threatened, posted something like, "Some people ruin lives for attention. Stay safe." Everyone knew he meant me. But the worst blow came from home. A few weeks after I moved here, my mother called in full-on panic. She was crying so hard I could barely understand her. She said someone broke into the house and beat my father nearly to death. She said everything they owned was destroyed. The living room, the kitchen, even my room. She said it looked like someone intentionally shredded every inch of the place. My father's nose was squashed flat, ribs broken. In her words, he needed major facial reconstruction surgery just to breathe properly again. Then she said something that made my entire body go numb. My father's Mustang was destroyed too. Apparently, the engine was filled with dirt, bleach, vinegar, stuff meant to ruin the entire car. She said the mechanic told her it looked deliberate, like someone wanted the car to die violently. She didn't say my uncle's name. She didn't have to. Now she's staying with another relative, too. Nobody wants to stay in their own homes because they're scared he'll retaliate again. She kept saying, "He almost killed your father. He almost killed him." And I just sat there holding the phone, listening to her cry, knowing deep down, this is all happening because of me. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I didn't mean for any of this. But nobody cares. Not anymore. Update 6. It's been a month now, and I feel like I'm living inside a nightmare I built with my own hands. I can't breathe. I can't sleep. I can't even look anyone in the eyes anymore. Everything is falling apart so fast. And every day feels worse than the last. The uncle I was staying with finally snapped. Well, not snapped, more like he just gave up on me. The harassment toward his family kept getting worse. People kept showing up at their house, calling them names, taking pictures, spreading rumors about them for protecting me, a baiter. One morning, he just knocked on my door and told me to pack my things. No yelling, no anger. Just this detached, tired look on his face that said everything I needed to know. I begged, I cried, I told him I didn't want to go back, that I was scared, that I'd do anything to stay. And he just said, "My priority is my family, which you aren't a part of." You need to face consequences for what you did to your uncle. I am sure your uncle won't hurt you. And that was it. I cried the whole drive home. He didn't say another word. When he dropped me off at my grandparents' house, they tried to smile, but I could see it instantly. They were exhausted, worn down, afraid. They let me in, but they barely looked at me. My grandmother's hands were shaking. My grandfather kept glancing at the window like someone might show up. I heard rumors already, some relatives fighting, blaming each other, blocking each other. I heard some cars got vandalized too, including my grandparents'. They didn't say much about it, but I knew why. I said sorry. Really said it this time, but they just nodded like they didn't know what else to do with me. My mom was there, too, staying with them because she's too scared to live in her own house. She's been drinking more and more. I can hear her hiding bottles in the kitchen. She won't look at me. She won't talk to me unless she's drunk. And my dad, I visited him at the hospital. I think that moment broke me more than everything else combined. His whole face was wrapped in bandages, barely recognizable. His voice sounded wrong when he told me to leave. He didn't yell. He didn't cry. He just stared at me with this cold, dead look like he wished I never existed. And I know that's my fault. All of it. I logged into my old social media for a second and saw hundreds of messages calling me a monster, a liar, a psychopath, people posting my face everywhere. So, I deactivated everything. No point in hiding anymore. Then I overheard my grandparents talking to my mom in the kitchen. My name, lawsuits, depositions, evidence, my uncle's lawyer. I froze behind the wall listening. They said I was named in everything, that the prosecutors were still collecting data, that I was going to be charged. I felt sick. I ran to the bedroom and cried until my eyes hurt. Out of anger and fear, I sent my former best friend a message, telling her she destroyed my life, that she ruined everything. And she just wrote back, "You destroyed yourself. Leave me alone." Then she blocked me. Later, my mom took me back to the house to get anything salvageable after it was attacked. But there was nothing, absolutely nothing. Every room was destroyed. Shattered furniture, torn photos, holes in the walls, and my room gone, completely wrecked, clothes shredded, bed frame broken in half, walls smashed through, even the ceiling was damaged. My mom broke down when she found her wedding photo cracked in half on the floor. The side with my dad's face missing entirely. I walked into the hallway and saw the exact spot where my dad had been beaten so badly he needed reconstructive surgery. For a moment, I stood there and realized the full truth. I did this, all of it, because I couldn't stand someone else getting attention. Now I'm back at my grandparents' house, hiding in the room they gave me, too terrified to even step into a school again. My chest hurts all the time. My head won't stop buzzing. I don't know what's going to happen next. I just know I'm tired. I'm exhausted and I'm so afraid of my uncle and of everything else that's coming for me. Update 7: I'm going to jail. Just writing that feels unreal, like it's happening to someone else, but it's happening to me. Every court date, every meeting with my lawyer, every paper I have to sign. It's all leading to the same place, prison. And I can't breathe. I can't sleep. I can barely think. I never thought the world would actually flip on me this fast. I thought I could talk my way out of anything. I thought people would protect me forever. But the truth is here, and it's dragging me with it. I try to do something, anything, to stop this from becoming real. I even went to my aunt's house, the one I always bragged I had wrapped around my finger. My uncle's sister. She opened the door, stared at me like I was a stain on her floor. And I tried to say the words, "I'm sorry." That's all I could get out from me at that time. She didn't yell. She didn't cry. She just said, "I'm not the one you should be apologizing to." And stepped back inside her house like I wasn't even worth the energy. And she was right. I knew exactly who I should be apologizing to, but he's the one I'm the most terrified to face. I haven't seen my uncle since that day at the halfway house when he went after my dad. I still hear the sound of fists hitting bone. I still see the way he looked like something inside him had snapped permanently. My grandparents, his parents, look horrible every time I see them. His father collapsed twice because of the stress. They look at their old pictures of him and just cry. They blame themselves for believing me so easily, for throwing away their own son because I wanted attention. I scroll through his social media sometimes, hiding behind a burner account just to see if he's alive. He looks fine. Better actually, working out, smiling with friends, starting fresh. I want to tell him I'm sorry, but I know the second he sees me, it'll all come crashing back. I ruined him. The relatives who helped bury him, they're getting destroyed one by one. Lawsuits, harassment, public humiliation, karma swallowed them whole. I only hear bits and pieces because no one tells me anything now. They don't trust me. They don't want me near their families. And my own situation is even worse. Police found screenshots and old messages where I lied about other people years ago. They used the video of me threatening my crush as proof of a pattern of malicious behavior. My lawyer told me the plea deal is my only chance. And even then, the best he can do is cut maybe 2 years off the sentence. I begged him. I actually begged while crying. He just shook his head. My parents are talking about divorce. They don't even hide it anymore. My grandparents barely speak to me unless they have to. Everyone who ever hugged me believed me, told me I was special. Every single one of them turned their back on me when they realized what I really did. I'm alone. Completely alone, and I deserve every second of it. Final update: it's been 4 years since everything blew up, 4 years since I was sentenced, and 2 years since I walked out of prison, thinking I'd finally be able to breathe again. Instead, I'm living in a beaten-up old apartment with my mother, working at a tiny fast food place for barely minimum wage, coming home every night smelling like grease and humiliation. I grew up having everything: nice room, nice clothes, attention, compliments, and now I've got nothing except a uniform, a paycheck that barely covers rent, and silence. My mother drinks almost every day now. She barely talks. Sometimes she just sits on the couch staring at nothing. And other nights, I hear her crying in her room when she thinks I'm asleep. My grandparents barely speak to me either. They used to spoil me, act proud of me. Now their voices are cold and tired, and they only talk when they have to. I ruined everything, and they look at me like they're staring at the wreckage of a life they helped destroy. And then the cake showed up. 2 days after I got released, a delivery guy knocked on our door and handed me a box. No name, no note. But the second I opened it, I felt the blood drain from my face. It was almost an exact replica of the cake we tried to give my uncle in the halfway house all those years ago, the one we thought would magically fix everything after we threw him in prison. Same look, same vibe, same mocking, welcome back. He didn't even have to write anything. The message was obvious. You destroyed everything. And this is your reminder. My mom just stared at it and didn't say a word. She didn't need to. We both knew exactly who sent it and exactly why. And while my life was falling apart, everyone else paid too. Not just my parents, not just my uncle's parents. All the relatives, even the ones from my side, suffered. Some were sued. Some had to pay damages for testifying against him. Some lost their jobs after the truth came out. Some had their cars vandalized. Some were harassed online so badly they deleted everything. Some cut each other off permanently. Some can't show their faces in public without hearing whispers. The entire family, both branches, is fractured beyond repair. And every single one of them looks at me like I'm the reason their lives burned to the ground. Because I am. I don't know much about my uncle's life now. Not really. I don't follow him. I hear things through other people, through social media, through bits that slip out in conversations I'm not supposed to hear. Apparently, he's living well, really well. He's got another tattoo. He looks stronger than ever. He's working again in another city and making good money. He trains constantly and fights in underground MMA matches to control his rage. People say he looks like a completely different person now, harder, colder, someone no one would dare cross. And while he rebuilt everything, his parents completely fell apart. His dad had a stroke, ended up bedridden most days, needing help for everything. His mom was barely holding herself together. His sister tried to help them both. And last year, his father died frail, broken, and still asking for the son who never showed up. And honestly, after what we did to him, why would he? His mom lives with his sister now, mostly quiet, mostly withdrawn. Everyone in that part of the family looks like they aged 10 years in one. And all of that pain started because I couldn't handle my uncle getting a promotion. Because I hated that everyone's attention shifted to him for once. Because I envied my own family, celebrating something he earned. I didn't want him to have his moment, so I took everything from him and took everything from myself in the process. Now I spend my nights scrolling through social media, looking at my former friends and my ex-best friend, living their best lives, traveling, graduating, laughing while I hide in my tiny room next to the peeling paint and broken blinds. I'm out of prison, but I'm not free. I'm stuck in the life I built out of jealousy, selfishness, and lies. If I had just let my uncle have his moment like a good family member, my parents would still be married. My dad wouldn't be disfigured. My grandparents wouldn't hate what they see when they look at me. My uncle's father might still be alive. And I wouldn't be here exhausted and empty, making minimum wage and hoping no one recognizes me as the girl who destroyed her own family. I had everything. Now I have nothing. I did this and I'm tired. Epilogue: my uncle is thriving in life with his new friends and the old ones who supported him through the shadows while everyone else was tearing him down during the betrayal. He apparently got married to a woman named Alice, who supported him after getting to know his story of being betrayed by his own blood. He also got a massive salary raise in the company he's working, which resulted him in buying a 3-bedroom cozy house in the suburbs. He also got married to Alice a month ago. I heard about the details through online and that only trusted friends and parties were invited to the wedding. His sister tried to approach him in hopes of getting her brother back, but she was chased away by his new family with a stern warning to never contact him ever again. And I am still slaving away my life for paying off the debts of the lawsuit while the people I knew in high school are enjoying their life to the fullest. Perhaps it's destiny. No, it was my own doing that ended up leading me here and destroyed families, lives, and bonds in the process. I will be atoning for my sins till it's paid off, and I hope that someday he finds it in his heart to forgive me for my faults if he can. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this story and for supporting the work shared across this channel. Your engagement is a tremendous part of my motivation. Your time and support help sustain the growing world behind these narratives. If you've enjoyed this story and would like to continue exploring, please consider subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to turn on the bell notification so you'll always be notified when a new story is posted. Thank you again for being part of this community.